I'm glad you asked it, because when we finished our call, because this is what preempted for those who are listening, what preempted it was when you said last week, you meant you and me in the gyms, right? Yep. Participating in a conversation on consultation and behavior and stuff. Yeah. And there was a number of things that I had on paper that I wanted to cover in the call I didn't get to. And this was one of it. And the main thing I think about in regards to that, especially to today and where I sit, you know, is the language that we used to use around trying to be a life coach if you haven't lived yet. So that's the first thing that comes to mind around the profession and the skills that we have in our profession, or the skills that we try to get good at. Because it's very difficult to listen to people. When you have something in the back of your mind that are like the downloaded CCP stuff that you're supposed to like come forward with. And so you're trying as hard as possible to be your, sounds cliche, but your truest authentic self. But you still got a job to do. And so the life thing, that I think about that a lot in regards to communication. I had a consultation with a young lacrosse player who's going to play Division I in California starting next year. And we wanted to chat about something. He wanted to chat about, he's a family friend, so we wanted to chat about things. So I guess it's not a consultation, but it kind of is, right? Yeah. And I find myself in those moments now saying, man, I got a lot of stuff to offer this person. You know, so I ask myself, why do I have a lot of stuff to offer this person? And I think it's experience. So that's what comes to mind on that communication aspect, is like, it takes like 30 years of practice for a coach to get to the point where you actually feel really good in your bones when you sit down and talk to someone. And I would go a little further to say, I think that's when you really mean it. And I think that's when it really sticks for the client. Because as you know, when you're beginning, we're always like, why didn't they get that? Yeah. You're not really convicted. Whatever's coming out of your mouth is probably good stuff, but you're not like sitting really calmly being like, man, I'm gonna lay this out now. So this is like, and I laid that out to this kid, and you could just see he was like, man, I don't know what just happened, but I got a lot of great information with that, right? Stuff that could just send, you know, so that's
I think the powerful thing about consultation specifically is, and let me know what you think about this. A lot of really good changes start to happen. Not like we talked about it last month with like knowledge and wisdom and all that stuff. That stuff is all good, but at the end of the day, it's all about understanding what someone is saying, understanding where they're coming from, and shifting their perspective where necessary, right? Because when you start to see like the facial expressions and like the, oh, now I get it, and oh, that's an interesting way to look at it, all you're really doing is shifting someone's perspective. But what I hear you saying is that you can't truly shift someone's perspective without your own experiences to provide them with a new perspective. Hey guys, just want to say thank you for watching the video and take a second to talk to you about our app, CoachRx. So we built CoachRx to bridge the gap for coaches. And what do I mean by bridge the gap? So we're looking at a couple areas in which we're trying to solve for coaches on a daily basis. Number one being communication. We want you to be able to communicate with your clients more effectively and be able to connect them to what you're designing in program and lifestyles and nutrition coaching. Number two, we want to bridge the gap and we want to allow you to create more effective and efficient lifestyle, nutrition, and exercise programs. And number three, we want to bridge the gap and we want this platform to be truly all-in-one, something that you can build your business in, run payments, understand impact metrics, the whole nine. But I want to go back to that concept of all-in-one. So all-in-one is never truly done, but that is our North Star. So we're always working to make our app all-in-one. So we will constantly innovate, we will constantly integrate, and we will constantly update
to ensure that we're just getting closer and closer to that all-in-one. So I can promise one thing as well. When you get in CoachRx today, you will experience the worst version of CoachRx because we are constantly improving and making this thing better. So don't take my word for it. Go in and start your risk-free 14-day trial and let us know what you think.
There's just more in it with the experience.
Yeah.
Like it's deeper, it's broader and deeper. It could be the same answer that you gave when in year 1 of your coaching, but in year 30, it's the same answer, but there's something about what the client picks up on of your depth and breadth that like just hammers it.
Yeah, because in some scenarios, it can kind of seem like the person is trying to convince themselves, even when they're having a conversation with you, where it's just like there's maybe uncertainty isn't the best term to use, but there's like a level of uncertainty because it's just like, well, you don't seem that resolute and steadfast in that idea. But when someone experienced it, you could almost like if you and I are having a conversation and I have an experience and I'm excited to share that experience with you, you'll like feel it. You'll see it on my face, the way that my words come out of my mouth, the whole 9, right? So yeah, I do think that's important because you could say the same thing, but if you have experience in that thing, it just hits a lot different.
Yes. You know, I think about the vocation, the career, and also the fact that it's not going to change. So it's not like you're going to get, you know, on the extreme end of it, someone has to be in practice for 25 years before they become a life coach, quote unquote, right? Yeah. Before they can embark on really hitting people with their behaviors, right? That's what we were talking about on that last call. So if that's not going to be the case, just so, you know, coaches listening in, you know, well, what do we do? You got to take the perspective that you are still learning, and you take that onto the journey with the client, right? So when you get going with things, you can still act convicted in what's best for them and to change their perception, but you have to give up some of that vulnerability, right? You got to be able to say, we're learning too, right? Don't you ever think that I know things now, right? Because I thought I knew things a lot, you know, multiple times. It's like I knew everything, just follow directions, you know?
Do you think you can be a good, let's use the term consulter? Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah, can you be a good consulter? Can you be a good consulter if you, and then we'll dig into this word a little bit more in a second, but can you be a good consulter in your opinion if you don't truly care about people, the person that you're speaking to?
Hey guys, thanks a lot for being here and watching the video. And since you're here, I'm going to assume that you're looking to improve your knowledge, improve your coaching acumen, or let's just call it improve your coaching wisdom. And we have a platform that is built to do exactly that. So we built this platform called LearnRx because we saw a massive hole in the fitness education market. We saw a lot of high barrier education that was inconsistent and that was updated every decade. So we saw that hole and wanted to fill it with high quality, broad fitness education. And by broad, I just mean from a topic standpoint, whether you want to improve your knowledge in program design, nutrition coaching, lifestyle, building relationships, or business acumen, we have you covered in LearnRx. So to learn more, head over to opexfit.com/LearnRx.